Hi, welcome to another episode of Hot Takes. An unusual one this because we're going to talk about how the SNP is failing children and doing so while comparing Scotland to its favourite countries, Denmark and Norway. Now, Swinny and the SNP always like to compare Scotland to Denmark and Norway. They're similar sizes, similar sized populations and so on. It's actually not a good comparison. In terms of GDP, Norway are well ahead, and in terms of absolute wealth per individual, Denmark are well ahead. And also in terms of services that are given by the respective governments to their people, Norway and Denmark are certainly well ahead of what the SNP give to the people of Scotland. Indeed, if you go to places in Norway, you'll see them. They're very nice, clean, efficient, things work. Similarly, in Denmark, not so much in Scotland though. The roads are falling apart, everything's a bit tainted, everything's a bit sad. And that's what happens though with the SNP in charge. They don't care. They really don't. But one of the things they're pushing is outdoor activities for children. Now, of course, this is a very important thing, not just from the health point of view, but from a mental point of view. It gives them an outlook and it encourages the great outdoors and all that. A healthy life, a healthy mind, a healthy body. But the plans that they want to do is something that they've talked about. Talk is easy, but they're not actually going to fulfill. They want to have school children do over their years at least 4 nights and 5 days, not necessarily at the same time, but over the course of their education between 12 and 16 in the great outdoors. Sort of adventure holiday, but learning. Adventure holiday in a learning environment where they do things like team building, they do rock climbing, they do the old death slide stuff and things like that. Nights under canvas, forced marches, straight to the gulags, things like that. Well, they've said, oh, it's a brilliant idea, but now they're actually sabotaging their own good idea. Now, Norway and Denmark and Sweden, Finland and all that, and Germany, all do these outdoor activity things. It's part of their curriculum. Sounds good, it sounds great, and it's something that should be encouraged. But what they're basically doing is saying, no, we're sabotaging it because we're not going to cost it and we're not going to guarantee the funding and that what they call a financial memorandum and that basically put the scuppers on it. So there we go. It's dead in the water. Even though research has highlighted the importance of outdoor learning, they say it's essential for the development of a well-rounded personality. What do you expect? They'd rather spend money sending Fat Angus around the world than actually improving the health and psychological health as well as physical health of the children of Scotland. Plus, it's absolute great fun, as long as you don't do it in the middle of winter. I remember digging a foxhole on Salisbury Plain in the middle of January, and the snow was 8 foot high. I'm not lying. 1986 was a really, really bad year for snow. That was 86 going into 87, so it'd have been January 87, I think. But yeah, it was a really heavy year for snow, and we were stuck there. Jesus Christ, snow that deep. I don't know how deep that is. It was taller than me, and we had to dig into it and dig the frozen ground out to dig a foxhole to sleep in. I put my hand up and say I didn't. I found the bivvy wagon and the cook's lorry where he does all his prep. I found that. And I went up and slept on a set of what are they called? Oh, I can see the face. I can't think of the name. Anyway, it doesn't matter. I didn't dig a foxhole. Put it that way. Went and slept in the lorry warmer. But I'm a terrible soldier. Anyway, it was fun. You do it in the summer though. I remember the Black Forest. Again, military, but it was operation such and such, exercise such and such. But we had a few days, and it was just so fun, especially when we found the Dutch Naffy. Oh boy, we were drunk. But there we go. I did it. I was in the Cubs. We did that, Scouts. Yeah, went camping a lot. Not in that way. Hey, Tony Blair, Miranda. But no, great fun. But it's part of growing up. It's part of being out there in the great outdoors. It sets you up. You learn things. They should do it more, but they won't. Not in Scotland. Too much money. Let me know what you think. Should kids have this forced upon them? Should it be legally part of the child's education that they do so many nights under canvas out in the great beyond? Thanks very much. Let me know. Bye.